Okay, ladies, we are live and you can start.
Okay. Good evening, Dipti.
Hi,
Thanks for
good
joining us. Hi. To begin with, so this is a chat show. We have named it as the BADASS Beauty. It's just to provide a platform, for ladies who have been doing something exceptional, something out of the box, just like yourself. So a few lines about our organization. We are called the Inspiring Indian Women. This was born in the UK, but now it's just in the nascent stages in India. It's just been about 2 months since we got our registration done too. Um, so uh, I would like to know about you. I mean, the day I read your post, I was like, oh my God, wow. I didn't know anybody could do this. So you on Instagram, you call yourself an entrepreneur and, a digital nomad. And of course, the main thing is that you are on a All India drive since 2019, I believe, for raising awareness on menstrual hygiene, menstrual this. So yeah, if you can talk about yourself a little.
Sure. So first of all, thank you very much, Greeshma, for inviting me on this stage. And right now also I'm traveling, and that is why the lighting and everything is just...
Right.
I am not on the All India Drive since 2019, but I've started this Menstruation 2019 campaign, distribution of menstrual cups from 2019. So the All India Drive actually started this year, just a couple of... Konkan is the first place. That's why I say All India Drive 2021, 2022. So I'm going to take to cover
2 years.
entire. Yes.
Right. Okay. So what is the story behind? I mean, how did you start this? Why did you start this? Basically, I mean, I'm also associated with an NGO, but I have not gone to your level of passion but you have probably left back your family, your extended family here back in Mumbai, and you've been traveling, spreading awareness. I mean, this is an extreme step, I think so. So what made you do this?
Okay, so while I was growing up, my family could not provide me with sanitary pads because I come from a financially, not that great family, and we were not doing that well financially, and that is why I have used cloth for about 7 years of my life. Cloth, not even cloth pad used to not exist at that time. We just had cloth, and my mother said that you can, use this. And I had many questions in my head because at that time, while I was growing up, there was no internet. There was no internet connectivity, no mobile phone. Everybody didn't have mobile phones. And they used to not show these ads on TV for pads and stuff. And even in school, there was no education related to this. So, I had so many questions, and the relationship between a mother and a daughter, or a mother or a daughter and a father, was not to that level. There was no openness on discussing these kind of things. It was still a very sensitive topic, and nobody wanted to discuss about it. I could ask my teachers, but we were anyway just very scared of the teachers.
Of course, I think our generation was, it's so unlike the present one where everything is so easy.
Actually, we used to treat them as, elders and teachers, and we used to be scared. And
true.
When we used to go and ask our friends, they would just shoo us away. They would be like, okay, don't ask me all these things, because they themselves were not aware of many things,
Right.
Because I had struggled during my childhood, and then when I started working in the corporates, from my first salary, I got a pack of pads, and it was a proud moment for me, because usually when you're young, you dream that, okay, if with my first salary I'm going to buy something, maybe some clothes or something else.
Yes.
But I always had this sanitary pads in my mind because it was giving me so much of trouble. I got yeast fungal infection, terrible fungal infection because of using cloth. So from morning to afternoon, I used to be sitting in the school without changing the cloth pad, and then by the time I used to come home, it used to stink and improper. It was not hygienic.
Of course, yes.
Convenient for me. And then I did my job for 5-6 years. I was working in the corporates, and then I met with my partner, who's been working into this
Okay.
since a very long time. So when I met,
Right.
I saw him as a guy, as a man who's promoting this and who's going and educating women and spreading awareness on this particular topic. And I was
Oh,
really
really?
that.
That's
Yeah. To go in the tribal areas, obviously the women are very shy out there. So
right.
he had these medical volunteers,
Hmm.
students who were pursuing medical at that time. He used to take those
Okay.
girls and go there and conduct these sessions and give sanitary pads for free. So then when I
Okay.
met, I was like, okay, this is something that I have to take up. And I started working on that. I did a lot of research, and whatever knowledge that I had, we started meeting a lot of doctors. And we ourselves, I'm not a doctor, but the information I pass on is also not that, it's not technical information that I give to women. I give them just
Mm-hmm.
the information as to how they can observe their bodies and take care of themselves, and
Hmm.
not ignore certain conditions. Because we as women, as young girls, we have always been taught, when we go to our mothers also, or anybody we talk to about it, they always say, "Arey hota hai, it happens." You just let go. It's just 5 days. Let it be. It will pass. When you get married,
Right.
when you give birth to a child, it will all be fine. That is the answer that
Right.
to all our questions.
True. Very true. Hmm.
But the problem is that there has been a major shift in the lifestyle. There has been a major shift in the climatic conditions as well, and also the food that we consume these days. Okay, when my
Right.
grandmother, during that era, and then my mother's time, at least the quality of the food, the quality of the air, the lifestyle, everything was much way better. In fact, when I was
Right.
going, I feel my life was much better because there was no internet as such, there was no mobile as such. But
Actually, yes.
this particular thing which has come up, the advancement in the technology,
Hmm.
accessibility to internet and mobile phones and TV. So all of these things, social media, it has its pros, but it also has major cons, and that is what is
Right.
affecting women's health on a larger scale in today's time. Not only the
Right.
environment. So when I met him, I realized that this is important. And then after a couple of years, so we were initially giving sanitary pads itself, but I was introduced
Hmm.
to a menstrual cup by somebody. And when I got to know about it, I used it for a couple of months and I experienced it myself. And then I said, okay, this is a life-changing product and I have to talk about it. And that is the exact time when I think after that Padman movie was released, and people
Hmm.
were getting in touch with me for sanitary pads, and I was like, okay, now I'm not going to do sanitary pads. I'm going to only talk about the cup.
The cup. Hmm. Hmm.
Since then, I have been traveling to God knows what all places. I have spoken to women from different arenas of life, and I am shocked by the kind of questions that I get in today's time. Because we have
Okay.
people, right? I mean, even when I go to colleges and schools, there are these girls. So I wait after my sessions are usually 2 hours where I give them
Hmm.
information about their entire body and everything, the entire process. And then I wait there for about half an hour. But sometimes,
Okay. Hmm.
girls don't open up in front of everybody. So they're shy.
Everybody, right.
I tell them that
Hmm.
I'll be there for another half an hour and you can come and ask your personal questions personally to me.
Right.
So I get questions like, I have kissed my boyfriend. Will I get pregnant?
Oh my God. Okay.
Level of
Yeah.
awareness that we are talking about in today's time. It's 2021.
Right, right. Surprising. Yeah.
Child has a mobile phone and access to internet. And if I just Google it, I can actually get a lot of information and research on every single topic. But
Right, right.
this is the level where kids are, they are scared to do research on this particular topic as well. They are shy, they are feeling shy. They feel like somebody might get to know about it. So I don't want to even research about it. And that is why
Right.
like us, people like me, are important because I don't have any relationship with that person as such. The only relationship I have is for that time period where I will give some information to that person, and that person has a number of questions they will ask me. They feel comfortable with me because I'm not going to go and 10,000 people that, okay, this is the girl who kissed her boyfriend, and
Boyfriend.
what
Of
I'm
course, yes.
he feels comfortable with me, and that's what keeps me going. I want to
Right.
reach out to all these girls who have these questions in their minds, and being able to answer their questions or at least guide them in the right direction is something I feel I need to be there for them. And that is why it's
Right.
motivating me to go on to new places and meet new girls and let them know
Right.
I'm there for them. So
Right.
that's
It must be interesting, isn't it? I mean, you get to meet so many people on your way.
a crazy number of people, and it's really
Yeah.
because they come up with different weird type of questions also, sometimes unexpected questions, and sometimes I'm shocked, sometimes I feel sad for them, and sometimes I feel like, okay, there is way too lack of awareness in today's time
Yeah.
when there's so much of information out there.
Right. Actually, yeah, there's overwhelming information. I mean, it's more than what is required actually. But yeah, probably that confuses them too. I mean, yeah. Right. So Dipti, on your drive, which you've just begun, of course, but before that also you've gone to different places, right? So how is the acceptance by the people? I mean, by the women? You've gone to cities as well as the rural. This. So how is the acceptance level, awareness level? Of course, awareness I understand, but acceptance from the women, and is there a difference between the urban and the rural level?
Thank you for asking this question. And I'm going to take away this. There is a huge misunderstanding in the urban crowd that, they come and tell me that, oh, you're doing topic is fine, but you're doing it for the rural areas and they are never going to accept it. But as per my observation and my experience on the ground level, rural 95% of the rural women have at the first time itself they've accepted and they've started using the menstrual cup.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'll tell you the reason for this is also social media and access to internet. Is because in the urban areas, what happens is the moment I tell them about menstrual cup, they open their phones, they check online on YouTube and on Google, they read the reviews, and as a human, tendency, you read the reviews first. You'll read the good reviews later on, but first you know what went wrong with this particular product.
Right.
Actually a con, and that is the disadvantage of the internet, and that is actually stopping the urban crowd from using the menstrual cup further.
Menstrual,
right. So fear is common in both the regions. The first time using, because they say it's intrusive, it's a product that can be inserted, it goes in the body. So pad is outside the body, so they're not that worried about it. And so fear is common between the both. But when it comes to acceptance in terms of cost, the bigger one in rural areas, because it saves a lot of money. Right. Even if the pads are cheaper right now compared to what they were earlier, still they get, because the kind of wages that they earn on a daily basis are
right
their daily food consumption, So the cost of the pad is actual cost which is counted on a monthly basis. So that is one thing that makes them immediately attract to it. Second thing is their lifestyle. They have to constantly be they do field work, these women, okay, and even the young girls, they go to the farms and they do field work, and they feel like better to have a cup rather than using the pad, because the pad they'll have to change every now and then. And the third thing is they're living in the lap of nature, so they themselves don't feel comfortable. They either burn the pads or they dig it up in the ground or they have to throw it. And there's no proper garbage disposal out there in the interior parts of the country. So that's right. I feel they feel like it's better to use a cup instead of a pad. Yeah, and the last thing is that I give them free of cost, so they don't even have to worry about it.
Have to, I know.
True. Me giving them free of cost is because one, it is not available at the medical stores like the pads, and second, they are not somebody who has that kind of, they don't have that kind of access to internet where they can order things online. because
Yeah.
these things won't reach them in the interior parts of the country.
Yeah.
So that
True,
is why
true.
I feel
Right.
awareness is one part of it, but giving them the product is the major part of it, because
Major part.
otherwise it doesn't make sense. You are just going and telling them,
Right.
okay, this is the product, but if they are never going to have access to it and be able to use it, the awareness
Right.
is actually not going to make any sense at all.
Yes. Very sensible thing. Yes, of course. But it
So
must
that
have burned your pockets too, right? In the initial times.
so I'll tell you, it is really very sad that a lot of corporates and a lot of people do not understand the importance of this one particular cause, is because it is not only going to help the health of women, it's going to empower women. So empowerment is covered. Second, it is going to help the environment on a very large scale, because
Yeah.
you are taking away so many pads from the environment. One woman uses about 5,000 to 6,000 pads in her entire lifetime of periods.
My God, that's
Just giving one cup to one woman, and she will use at the most 4 cups in her lifetime for the number of years that
oh,
she has the period. So 4 cups, 5,000 pads. You look at the impact that it's going to create on the environment. Also, when people donate, so for example, on an average, if you buy a cup worth 500 rupees, the cup is going to last minimum 5 to 8 years. So I will say, chalo, let's not count 8 years, let's count 5 years on an average. So even if it lasts for 5 years, if you divide, say you are the one who's donated 500 to me for one woman. If you divide it on a yearly basis, in 1 year, you're giving just 100 rupees per woman. So that is the kind of
correct.
impact you're creating, that you are empowering a woman for 5 years.
I know. True.
One thing but people don't understand. What people want to do is they want to do tree plantation. They want to do what do you say, that stationary donation. They want to give food, which I also understand is important. But if everybody does that, the
Then who
core
will?
problems are still,
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
and we need to address the problems themselves. Because if you just give them the cup, it's going to take care of everything else. It's going to take care of the environment. It's going to take care of their empowerment, everything.
Right.
So it has
Right.
impact and on a larger scale. But people need to understand the depth of this particular cause and the impact that it's going to create on a long term.
Long term. Yes. Right.
And they also question me as to why, if you think that the cup is so good and if it's a life-changing product, why is none of the companies, why are none of the industries selling them on a larger scale? So let's talk about Whisper, say for example, Whisper and Stay Free. Now,
Right.
there is an economical cost attached to it. There's a huge economy behind these for selling it. Now, if one woman stops buying pads for 8 years after buying one cup, which is way less compared to the cost of pad, these industries are going to be at a huge loss. And
Of course, yes.
They will never let us introduce cups in the market.
Cups, right.
It's a very difficult thing to make them understand. When the donors come to us, it's difficult to make them. The kind of donors that we are getting right now are the ones who want to support any cause which is related to women. Okay. So that is why they are supporting us. But if someone wants to do something for the environment, they would rather go and donate for tree plantation, but not for this cause. Whereas I feel larger than tree plantation.
Right. Yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, the number of females in this country or in worldwide is so huge. So of course, it's going to make a major impact. Yeah.
And pads take about 500 to 800 years to decompose.
Yes.
I'll give an example as to our future generations. I feel really sad for our future generations, because they are going to live in this. Because today, if you see, the climate major changes have already started happening. We are already witnessing the climate changes. It's raining in the month of November. It is affecting the health of all the individuals. So if people open their eyes and see the kind of harm that we are causing to the environment, so they are like, okay, it's the responsibility of the government and the industries and the NGOs. But what is it that you can do as an individual? How is it that you can? Is by bringing changes in your life, as an individual,
Lifestyle.
cutting off
Right.
plastic as much as possible.
Correct. So, matlab, even the menstrual, the age where the girl reaches the puberty, when the menstruation actually starts, that itself has come down alarmingly. I mean, in our age, it was probably 13, 14, or 16, and now it's below 10. I mean, that's very
met
huge.
a girl who was 7 years old. She was sitting in my shop. She didn't understand anything. I had to actually separately go and take her in a separate room and make her understand. But still, she couldn't understand. She barely knows to wear her own clothes.
I know.
Her
7 is so.
Her mother helps her wear the pad. So this is all a change in the lifestyle. Everything has changed drastically. Even for matter, even childbirth. Like I remember my grandmother and all the women from that age, they were able to give birth to even about 14 to 15 children without any hospital, any doctors, without any medicines.
True.
Home delivery, normal delivery.
At home, normal delivery, yes.
And today, even if you want to bear one child, it is such an impossible task. I know of women who, like in India today, out of 10 women, 5 women are infertile. Infertility is a big issue. Out of 10, women are suffering from PCOS.
Yes,
and like the thyroid is another problem. So these problems which never used to exist while I was growing up, I had never heard about PCOS. I had never heard about infertility. But today, if you go just on the street, if you go, you ask women, at least you'll find 5 women who are suffering from PCOS.
One or the other. I know, PCOS and other hormonal, imbalances.
Hormonal imbalance is there in every woman today.
True.
The second problem is that we don't want to go to the proper experts. We don't want to go to the gynecologists. We want to go to a general physician with these kind of problems.
I know.
We have experts in this country. We have experts everywhere who are going to guide you in the right direction. And you know specifically what to do with that condition of yours. But unfortunately, we have this assumption that an expert is going to charge you extra money.
Yes.
What happens
I know.
You end up going to the physician 10 times and you spend double the money.
Right. And then at the end, the physician has to refer to an expert because there is a certain level that thinks what he can do, right? And then above that, he's not going to be able to. Right.
But to be very honest, for all the gynecologists also who I've met, like there are some good doctors who would literally tell you to not be on medication for this particular condition. You have to bring lifestyle changes. Unless it's something which is really major, unless you have waited for a long time and you have ignored your condition, then you will have to visit the doctor and you'll have to be prescribed certain medicines. But initial stages, a good doctor will always tell you to go ahead with lifestyle changes. And I have met so many women who have got their periods back to regular periods and got their weight managed, everything managed, because their hormones managed without taking pills, just by managing their lifestyle.
I know.
Care of the food and everything else. And you don't need to be on a very particular diet as well. You just eat what you have eaten growing up. When I go, they're like, but I can't go to the gym. I can't follow this diet. But I'm like, you don't really need to do all that. All you need is whatever you have been eating since childhood. Like in India, what we've been eating is sabzi, roti, dal, chawal. Eat that. Don't eat junk food. If you eat junk food, that's obviously going to affect your body.
Come back. Yeah, right.
It's really
so in my family, you won't believe. So I have she's about 90 years and above. That's my father-in-law's mother. I mean, you stayed there. So his mother is above 90. But she doesn't have blood pressure. She doesn't have diabetes, nothing. But I also have members in the family who are 30 and 35 who are diabetic. So, I mean, it's just such a clear example of the lifestyle related disorders,
Another thing is the over-the-counter medicines, without
Yeah,
easily.
prescriptions.
Uh, Rather than, so I always tell women, go back to your roots. Go back to what would your grandmother do in your place?
Right, yes.
If your stomach is aching or if there is some gas in your stomach, what is it that your grandmother would do? She'll say, go and drink ajwain. Have
That's right, yeah.
just have
Water, right.
with water and you'll be fine in the next 10 minutes. But no,
Mm.
you want to go and have paracetamol. You want to go and have crocin. You want to have all these allopathic medicines, and then you want to also suffer from the side effects of it. So it's a temporary, but the
Relief,
long-term
right.
effect is really bad. And that is what is
Right.
infertility as well.
Right. Yes. Very interesting. Yeah. When you've been traveling, have you encountered any antisocial, people who have been? I mean,
All
you
the
and your
time.
husband, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you all the time. One thing that people cannot accept is why are you doing this?
Right.
The benefit that you're getting out of it.
Hmm.
Because unless so people don't accept people like us who are just there to give. We want to do something for we are giving back to the society, and
Hmm.
something that I really enjoy the most. So they are like, okay, but how do you make money? I have my other sources of making money. I don't need to make money from this. If I had to make money from this, I would have, openly told people that, okay, because I don't sell cups. I don't sell cups. I just give them free of
Right.
cost. I raise funds and I use those funds to donate the cups. So there are
Cups.
people who don't accept this. I'll tell you one incident that happened right before the Padman movie was going to release. So
Mm-hmm.
I have been doing these kind of awareness since a long time now, and I've been putting up pictures online as well on my Instagram. I had
Right.
put up a picture with a pad, and I had written biodegradable on it, and there was a clear picture of the pad in my hands. And people had literally abused me, and they had, like DM me weird things, weird messages.
Oh
Uh,
my. Okay.
Immediately after 4 months, the Padman movie released, and everybody had a pad in their hands posted on their social media.
Oh, crap.
It's sad that you need an Akshay Kumar to come and tell you to.
Right.
So it's a trend. It's not something that really brought the change. It is just a trend, and that is why the impact is also not long lasting.
Right.
This one movie came in, you got inspired for some time, that's it, done. After 6 months, another movie came in, you got distracted in some other direction. Now, serious topic,
Right. Right.
the problem. So there are many people who still want to, kind of, okay, but this what you're doing is not right. Like, for example, I remember visiting Kerala right after that Sabrimala issue had happened in the country. It was a national that women
Right.
should not enter the temples. I myself have visited a lot of temples where outside the temple there is a big board that if you're menstruating, do not enter.
Do
So
not
my
enter.
first question is, how can you look at me and tell me whether I'm in my periods or not?
Right.
So as a woman, if I feel uncomfortable, I'll not go. If I have certain,
Right.
I'll not go. But you as a society or you as somebody else, you cannot stop me from doing whatever I want to do. It's a basic human right. Okay.
Right.
And there is no scanner in the world as of today, thankfully,
I know.
whether a woman is on her periods or no. So yeah, so there are a lot of people who are against it. They don't understand the importance of it, and especially when it women, there are a lot of men, unfortunately, who do not support it. But now there are also a lot of men who do support it. And I really want to go in that positive direction because they are the ones who have been constantly donating for my cause, and they are the ones who there have been a lot of men who have been a part of my workshop and have gifted a menstrual cup to their wives. So, and their daughters. So this is the
Right.
change that I want to see, and it's okay if it happens slowly, because it took 20 years for our country to show the color of the blood blue to red in the pads, in the advertisements. You know,
Of course, yes, I remember that now. Yes.
I can imagine how many more years it's going to take to get the menstrual cup in the limelight. So
Right.
unfortunately, we haven't advanced in that particular direction yet.
Right.
The world is changing, and I am seeing the change happening. I am seeing women accepting menstrual cups and happily using it. And that is why I'm
Right.
going to continue as long as I live. I don't have to reach any particular goal. You know, I don't have like, year I want to give these many, that year I want to give. No, that's not my goal. My goal is to reach out to as many people as possible, including both men and women, and tell them that something like this exists, and this can definitely change your life and also the environment. So yeah, that's the journey I'm on.
Right. So lately you have been, I think, conducting workshops or the sessions for the police, community. So any specific reason you have targeted them, or you've chosen them? I mean, not targeted, but chosen them, or?
So I'll tell you this. So everything that I do has a story behind it. I don't just randomly like just okay, I want to do it for the cops. No. So one day, what happened was I was in Bombay. I was sitting on Marine Drive. It's the spot if you are in Bombay.
Yes.
I think 12:30 in the night, and I was heading back home, and there were these lady cops who were on duty on the night shift. Now, me as an individual, as a civilian, if I have to use a public toilet up till 12 o'clock or max 12:30, there are some malls, there are some cafes which are still open, and you can go and use those restrooms, toilets. But I happened to go, and I was always curious as to what do these women do in the night when nothing is open. All the malls are shut. What do these? Because the public toilets are also shut at certain places. They just lock them.
Oh, okay.
So I went. She was this on her duty, and I wanted to desperately ask her as to how does she manage. And I went and I spoke to her, and luckily she was the one who was using a menstrual cup, and I was so because I started talking to her that way. I was like, how do you manage? So she said that so they all have to wait for everybody or maximum number of women who want to use the washroom. So say 5 women want to use it. Only then they put them in a van, and then they go to a specific public toilet which is open in those hours. So they have to sit in the van, and they have to travel certain kilometers to use the toilet. And that too, after majority of the women want to use it at one time. And she said that during periods, it's just impossible because first of all, they're wearing that uniform, and then add on them, and long duty hours. Sometimes they have to do double shifts. So it's just impossible for them to. They just somehow manage it. They can't change their pad, so their pad is on for 12 hours. For 12 hours, the same pad they are wearing, and this is causing infections and dryness and rashes and everything. And that is why that woman, she said, I started when the moment I got to know about it, I started using it, and my life has changed. So I was like, but why don't you go and tell others? She said, I did tell my friends. So she only has limitations up to a certain people, but I have to formally go the other way where I can involve all the lady cops. Then she told me that I think it would be better if you can go and get the permission directly from the top management. So that just clicked, and I took the permission letter. I went to the main office, the headquarters. And because another problem is who is the head of that particular department. So if it's a lady, it's easier to convince them. But if it's a male, it becomes a bit difficult because they don't understand, they shy away. And so luckily for me in Bombay, the DCP was a woman. And she immediately said, I want to do this for all the women. So please
How nice. Okay.
take it away. And for
Hmm.
consecutive days, I
Okay.
went and I did it for all the departments. And I was really happy that I did it.
Okay.
And from there, it started, this journey started, once you have tapped on one place, then the rest follow.
Hmm.
It's just difficult to
Falls
start
into
with
this.
one. The rest will follow. So
Right.
I'm in contacts via every police station, and then I go to every police station. And these women have been actually thanking me because they say that sometimes we just don't get time. We just have to
Right.
on our duty from morning to evening, and the pad becomes
Uh-huh.
impossible. So I recently met one lady cop who said she wears a cloth pad. The last one is the cloth pad. On top, she puts a disposable sanitary pad. On top of that, she
Okay.
puts a cloth pad. So between two cloth pads, she puts one
She's
sanitary
put
pad. Because if she
right.
puts the sanitary pad on top, she gets a lot of rashes down there. So
Right.
she'll put a
Right.
cloth pad, sanitary pad, and a cloth pad.
Oh, yeah. Dipti, I think your video is frozen. Hello, Dipti, are you there? Yeah.
I guess my
Yeah.
internet.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So have you conducted any camps here in Kalina? Because it's a training place here, the police training place.
Oh no, so I was supposed to do that, but
Okay.
time they were busy with the COVID, Corona duties. That's why they had
Okay.
changed the plan, and then it never happened because then I started with my all India drive.
Right. All right. So you're into software development and mobile apps development, is it? That's, I think, what I read online.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
how you all are sustaining yourself and traveling. So that gives you the liberty of traveling and yeah.
Definitely, it helps a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's nice. Yeah. So if you have any send away message to our viewers, I mean, yeah, I would request anybody watching this, or even later, especially in the UK and US, please, if you all are thinking of donating, please consider donating it to Dipti's fund so that more ladies and girls can benefit from this. Yes, and also, do you have anything to say, like as a community, as what can we do from our sides? First thing is to start using the cups ourselves, educate our friends, neighbors, and what else can be done? Yeah.
So because I'm going on this journey of All India Drive, obviously I need money. Yeah, I'm very upfront with this. I can't bring change in this world just by talking. I need support from everybody, and that is why I've started a fundraiser. And the fundraiser is very much there, and a lot of people have been constantly donating for the cause. So this journey of mine is going to last for 2 years. That is 2020.
Okay.
So you have 2 years to support me for this cause. Further, I don't know what's going to happen, but at least for 2 years, I know for sure that whatever places I go, whichever places, I'm going to give away as many cups that I can raise funds for. That is one.
Right.
Second, not everybody is in a position to donate all the time. So for these kind of people, I have other options as well. One is you can share the message, you can spread it out to as many other people as possible in your circle. And the third thing you can do is when I am on my journey, if you are anywhere in India, if any of your friends or relatives are in India, I usually don't stay in a hotel during my journey. I'm always hosted by people. Like right now, I'm hosted by your father.
Yeah,
So
my father-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are enough to host us as well. So that is how also you can host me. While saying that, a lot of people before hosting, they're very, they think that, oh, she's coming to our house. She's such a big person. She's doing so much. Will she be comfortable? So let me tell you, even in my house in Bombay, in my personal life, I've brought a lot of changes to become a traveler. I sleep on the floor in my house as well. I don't need a bed.
Oh,
so three things is a floor and a roof on top. That's it. Everything I carry with myself in my car. My car is a CNG car, so it's green.
Okay.
I carry some basic utensils to cook. So I will just get access to your kitchen. That's it. All the masalas and all the utensils are also something that I carry with myself.
That's
You will end up getting good food as well. I am a good cook.
okay.
So I'm not going to be a burden, you know. I want to live the way
Right.
you live. I want to sleep the way you sleep. I want to eat what you eat. And I just want to make it easier so that I can help the people around you. Because when you host me, I'm going to do the workshops around for the people around you. And I want you to accompany me so that people know that, okay, this is the person from our community who has got this lady and has, you know, helped us get this menstrual cup, get access to this menstrual cup. So that is what you can do. And
Right.
yeah, that's all. That's all. I'm not asking for anything more.
I'm sure this journey of yours is going to enrich you with so much of experience and interesting stories. It's
So it didn't start all of a sudden with All India Drive. So I've been to 10 states of India already in bits and
Right.
pieces. You know, I went to one because I wanted to know if I'm capable of doing this. In my own vicinity, in my own area, territory, I can do it fine because I'm born and brought up in Bombay. But I wanted to
Right.
explore, see whether I can go and communicate. Because in India, there are so many languages, first of all. So language becomes one of the major barriers at certain places. But for
Yes, yes.
what has helped me is because I'm also an Instagram influencer, a lot of these followers of mine, what I do is before I go to any particular city, I tell them that, okay, I'm coming to your city. So these people, they get me connected to the places where I go and do the workshops. So they accompany me
Okay.
and they are
That helps.
they help.
Right.
Once I've done a workshop for about 50 girls and they didn't know my language. I didn't know their language, but there was a translation between. And at the end, they were happy. They understood everything. So, you know, language
Right.
doesn't really matter, but you need to have somebody from the local area to support you with the language. Because the accent
Correct.
also changes as you
Yes,
pass
yes.
from one place to another. The accent changes.
Correct.
So yeah,
Correct.
so after doing those 10 states, I was like, okay, I think now I can cover entire India. And
Okay.
I will do it. If not now, it's never. So I thought
Right.
I'll just start with it. And that's how I started. And
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. From our organization, I'm sure we will collaborate in the future and, try and do something. I'll be in touch. Yeah.
yes.
And I think in one of the posts I read about, you have written, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. It's by Mother Teresa, but this stood out so well. And I think you already started casting the ripples, Dipti. So hopefully we'll be able to join hands and do something substantial. Yeah. And
Thank you so much for bringing me onto your platform because every platform gives me that reach to new people and
yes.
really helps me with the cause. So thank you, Greeshma, for doing this, for getting in touch with me, organizing and scheduling this particular meeting.
It's been a pleasure.
A lot of people right now have become a part of it already. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dipti. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Take care. Bye. Rashmiji? I think she's busy probably.
Yes,
I think we'll leave them.
Greeshma. Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Rashmiji. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is it done?
Yes, Rashmiji, it is.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing such lovely people on our platform. And we would love to connect with Dipti over and again, because this is what even we want to do. And share her contact details and whatever link is there, like we will love to share it all around. Thank you so much, Dipti, for joining us on our platform and inspiring so many of us. And let us get back to you again offline. Yeah. Thank you, Greeshma, for hosting the show. Looking forward to the next Badass Beauty next week, Saturday, same time.
Yes, same time. Yes.
Take care.
Okay, Rashmiji. Take care. Bye. Good night.